what's going on the field. And if your team ain't beating them, hope your team gets better. Coming in at number 1, Cam Newton. Cam Newton, in my opinion, has all of the athletic ability, all of the tools needed to be one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. What's lacking for me, what I need to see, what I don't see, is that football acumen, that football. I don't know how to describe it. It's not, that I don't think he doesn't do his film study, but I see him almost get stuck, like he's in quicksand, like the decision-making process isn't fast enough. Because it's a difference sitting in the film room or being out on the practice field and running through what you just went over. It's another thing when you got Von Miller coming around the end and you got to make your reads against arguably the best secondary in the NFL in the no-fly zone. And you saw that give him trouble in the Super Bowl, where you didn't see him have very much trouble throughout the whole rest of last season. And I said that all last season. I said it throughout the playoffs. I said it before the Super Bowl, and I'll say it now. The Carolina Panthers made it as far as they did last season by not making those mistakes, by not getting stuck. And if they did get stuck, like you saw maybe earlier in the season against that, barn burner of a game against New Orleans, it was like 50-48. They didn't know his fault. Now the Super Bowl got to him. All of a sudden, his team didn't see him being that swag out on the field and keeping that smile. All of a sudden, you saw a little more of that towel coming up over his head. So to me, great. Cam had the best season. He didn't make no mistakes. He got his team all the way to the Super Bowl. Good for Cam. He's number 1 on this year's list. We'll see how next year's list goes. And now it's time. This is a new segment I'm going to start doing every Sunday. It is time for the Weekly Rewind. Alright, so during the Weekly Rewind, what you could have come to expect is I'm going to go over some sports stories that happened throughout the week, or that maybe I talked about previously in the week. Just catch you up on where they're at, or add some new perspective. So last time we spoke about Von Miller's contract and how I thought it was a little dumb. Everybody was so shocked that Elway was reaching out coming up to the July 15th deadline. Well, now it's coming out that potentially the Broncos have offered up to $61 million and guaranteed that third year. And they're waiting to hear back from Von. Sides are going back and forth. I don't know if Von's going to get the 63 that Cox got. At 61, I'd be thinking real hard if I was him, if I really need to push it for that last $2 million, or if I'm good at what that is. I think they're going to get it done by the 15th, later this week. I really do. So Broncos fans, I think you can go ahead and just relax there. Earlier this week, I believe last Sunday, I talked about Iceland and the Euro tournament and how far they got. The Euro tournament went ahead and wrapped up today. Portugal took on France. Portugal in the 108th minute, 108th minute, scored the game-winning goal in extras to win their first Euro title over France. So they won that 1-0, so good job, Portugal. Going back to some NBA free agency, we talked about all the billions of dollars passing around there. James Harden went ahead and signed himself an extension. Wasn't a free agent deal, but signed himself a 4-year, $118 million extension, which, they better pay him. He's going to be one of their only scoring options next year again, and he's going to have to put up another 29, 30 points a game like he always does to keep you guys in most of these games. So, good for them for paying their guy. D-Wade did not pick the Nuggets. Wah, 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 right? He's off to the Bulls, hometown team. We got a lot of these guys wanting to go play for their hometown team now. It's kind of becoming a fad. But apparently he had good words to say about the Nuggets and thinks that the organization is headed in the right direction. Could those just be, I'm a professional and I know not how to dog out teams who offered me a whole bunch of money to come play there? Or did he really think some of that based on what they told him and what they got going on there? I don't know, but good for him going home. Um, last thing we're going to hit up on the weekly rewind was from the segment on Wednesday from the Let's Get Real about dumb athletes. Right after I talked about athletes not doing stupid stuff, what happened? Y'all catch this story? Lewis Murphy, wide receiver from Tampa Bay. Did you see what he went out and did? How you go to your buddy's wedding and then fall asleep in the museum, because the wedding was at a museum. You fall asleep after the wedding in the museum and get locked in. Dumb. Athletes doing dumb stuff. How do you get yourself involved in that? I have no idea. Here's something I would love to be involved in. Serena Williams. Can we get one for Serena Williams, please? So, as you guys know, Serena Williams went out and won her 22nd Grand Slam title, tying Steffi Graf in the open era for first all time, and just tied for second behind Margaret Court, who has 24 all time out of Australia. But her 22nd Grand Slam title, that is more than one a year since we've known who she is. Remember, she broke out, what was she, 16, 17? And she's 34 now. So she's been on the scene for a little while, winning Grand Slam titles, winning tournaments. She's got 71 professional titles. That's 71 dominance. She's been around forever. And not to mention her sister Venus was doing it before she was and is still doing it also. Also, Serena, she won Wimbledon this week. That was her 22nd. While she was at Wimbledon, after she got her singles title, what did she do in the afternoon? Did she relax, get a massage, hang out with the family? No, she went out on the doubles court with her sister, and they won their 6th doubles Wimbledon title. Her 22nd doubles title overall as well. So, along with tying Steffi Graf for second overall in the Open era, or first in the Open era, and second really overall behind Margaret Court, like I was saying. She now has 7 Wimbledon titles, which is tied for third all time, which is 2 behind the leader, Martina Navratilova. She has 9 out of the USA. She has 6 Australian Open titles, which is second all time, behind Margaret Court's 11 from Australia. She has 6 US Open titles, which is tied for third, which is just behind the 8 of Mola Justrot Mallory out of Norway and USA. Sorry if I butchered that name. And she has 3 French Open titles, which is 6th all time. And the leader is Chris Everett, who has 7 out of the USA. Now, like I said, Margaret Court, she has 24 all-time Grand Slam titles. Serena very easily could catch that all-time record as well, not just the Open era record. I mentioned she has the 23 doubles titles. She has 3 gold medals in doubles. She has 1 singles gold medal in the Olympics. She's first all-time in career earnings in women's tennis at over $76 million just from her tennis. So this is a remarkable athlete, a remarkable woman, and all the respect to her today, all the props. I'm proud of her. I've liked watching her career grow and change from the early stages where I felt like Dad had too much influence to where she's at now, and she's just running things like a boss. Good for her. Good for the game of tennis. Good for Wimbledon. What else happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. Men's side. Andy Murray. If you guys know who Andy Murray is, local Brit there in Wimbledon. He pretty much went and dominated Milos Raonic for his 2nd Wimbledon title. So, that happened also. But go ahead, Serena. Big ups. Go to the next Grand Slam. Get another one. Just continue dominating. It's fun to see athletes at the top. It's fun to see them at the top for a long time. It's exciting where the show is going forward. It's exciting that you guys are spending your time with me here on Sunday. Please follow the show on its Facebook page, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. Follow us on Twitter at Real Deal KVP. download the app, the Android app. Go get the Android app so you can listen to, re-listen to, chat with me. Go to Speaker Radio, check the show out there. If you're ever on there and listening to the show, we'll be able to chat. It's way easier for me to chat with you guys that way than through the app. But please, however you want to get a hold of me, if you want to get a hold of me, look for big things, look for changes, look for the football season coming up. We're going to have some fantasy football segments. We're going to have some professionals in, some analytics guys. We're going to be helping you out. So have a great Sunday. Have a great work week. I will see you guys Wednesday. And until next time, be real.